When you first start out as an entrepreneur, you don't have money, you don't have skills, you don't have any kind of leverage whatsoever, you don't have a team working with you, you don't have a brand. All you have is your time. And your time obviously is allocated towards building those different things. But I see so many young people specifically, even people who are older, that are just weighed down by social pressure, the feeling of like an obligation that you have to spend time with people. And I think this is potentially the dumbest thing ever, and it will hold you back if you fall into it. If you don't have friends who are supporting you, which you probably don't when you're young, you probably don't. I have very few. Um, it's very easy to kind of get stuck with an old group of friends, whether that's the people you party with in high school or the people you used to play sports with or whatever, and you kind of feel like you're in that group. But the farther you get in entrepreneurship, you have nothing in common with them. You don't like doing the same things, you don't think the same way, like you are literally polar opposite. Yet, you still spend time with them. I know how you're feeling. Okay, these people hit you up. They're like, oh, let's go Friday night with the boys. Let's go out. Oh, man, you haven't been out in like 3 weeks. Like, oh, you're so boring now. Come on, why don't you have some fun for once? Why don't you just take a day off? And these people will hit you with these little, like, quippy sayings, and you fall into it. You're like, all right, I guess they're right. I guess my friends who are broke, have no ambitions, are not disciplined whatsoever, I guess they're right. I'll take their word for it, right? So then you go out with them, and then you probably feel like shit afterwards, right? And the reason you feel like shit is because you know you could have been spending that time doing something that would actually push you forward. And you're just like, you can't even have fun with them while you're out because you're like so mad at these people for trying to get you to come out, but in reality that's your fault. And when you dumb it down to as simple as like you're in control of your time, like you choose what you do, and I don't care what anybody says, like in the simplest form of physics, you are in 100% control of your life. Don't feel like showing up to work tomorrow? You don't gotta go. Don't feel like stopping at the stop sign? No one, like, you're in control. So why are you not using that control when the people who are holding you back try to take away your most valuable resource? And once I started thinking about it this way, it just became easier to say no. Like, no, I don't want to go out and waste my night with you. I have things to do at home that will actually move my life forward. And I still struggle with it sometimes. I'll be the first to admit it. Like, there are still times where I'm like, all right, I'll go out. I'll spend some time with these people. And when I go out and I start getting hit with the snarky comments like, oh, where you been? You too cool for us now? Or you too busy for us now? Or you just spend all your day at home? It's like, yeah, I'm building a fucking business, so I do spend all my day at home. And when those little comments add up and you do give them another chance and they're still just your old fucking friends who are actually just acquaintances that you spent time with, like, it's so pointless. And the more I find myself being even more protective of my time, because I know that, like, almost anything that is not in favor of me and what I'm building is a waste of time. And that sounds terrible. It sounds selfish. It sounds scummy. It sounds egotistical. But when you're building a business, you have to be selfish. And the number one thing you should be selfish of is your time. So if you are wasting your time with people, you're probably spending, like, think about it this way. You're spending dumb amounts of time with dumb people doing dumb shit. And that is the worst thing for your progress. So stop doing it. Because you're in control of your time. Deep down, you know that those people are not your friends. And if they were your friends, they would respect your time. And they would know what you're trying to build. And they would support that. And they would totally understand when you can't go out on a Friday night because you have an email campaign to create or leads to follow up with or like an SOP to type out. And the few people that are that way are the few people that I consider like my true friends. So yeah, it's tough. You probably don't have a lot of friends, and that's okay. That's part of growing up. So just kidding. I hate saying that because I'm literally 18, and most of the people that watch this are older than me. So don't listen to me. I don't know shit about growing up, but I do know that so many of you spend your time in a way that is not conducive with what you say you're trying to achieve. Because if you were really trying to achieve it, you would have looked yourself in the mirror by now and been like, I'm spending my time the wrong ways. So there's a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Short, sweet, to the point. Stop wasting your time because the people you're spending your time with probably suck. Genuinely, they suck. I would, from experience. So subscribe if you like this kind of content. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future, and that's it, I guess.